This is United Network News with Sunny Galt, Calen, Kimberly Gogan, and our field messengers from around the world. Here's today's real news.
Kantamanto, one of the world's largest secondhand clothing markets, was devastated by a fire on January 1st in Accra, Ghana. The blaze killed 2 people, destroyed thousands of stalls, and left about 30,000 people without livelihoods. Vendors and other workers are now struggling to recover from the financial and emotional toll.
Known locally as Dead White Person's Clothes, Kantamanto Market has long been a hub for secondhand garments from brands like H&M, Levi's, and Primark, mostly imported from the UK, US, and China. Before the fire, vendors could earn between $225 and $425 monthly. But now many have no income and no way to rebuild. Stalls cost up to $500 to reconstruct, leaving vendors without a place to sell their goods and struggling to provide for their families. The fire's impact extends beyond stall holders. Food vendors, cleaners, and porters who carry goods have all been affected. Many live day to day and lack savings, making recovery nearly impossible. Community groups report rising hunger as people face mounting financial pressure. 2 months later, repairs have begun, with new roofing and frames installed. But many stalls remain empty. Recovery is slow, and the market community continues to struggle with rebuilding their lives.
Total destruction. That is the only way to describe the tragic events that occurred on January 1st here in Accra, Ghana. I'm standing outside the burned down remains of the Kantamanto market, which was completely razed due to a massive fire that destroyed almost 10,000 different shops. As you can see, the rebuilding process has begun on the market, but all the people, all the shop owners whose lives were completely taken from them, they have now relocated to the train tracks just in front of the market. And so at one time when there was no one on the tracks except actual trains and everyone was filling the market, the entire tracks have now been covered by entrepreneurs, so to speak, looking to rebuild their business step by step. But there's also a massive element of danger here that the people face on the train tracks because the trains are still in service, as you can see. And so each individual seller here has to not only listen for the sound of the train whistle from miles away to alert them to its presence, they also have to wait and feel for the vibrations in the tracks. They know when it's time to gather up all their materials and get off the tracks and get to safety. It is a story here of the tremendous resilience of the Ghanaian people, but also a stark reminder of the danger that's involved in something like this.
The Kantamanto market has faced repeated devastation from fires, often worsened by the lack of fire hydrants and proper safety infrastructure. From the first big fire in April 2011 to another in May 2013, traders have suffered huge losses. But calls for better safety have gone unanswered. In December 2020, the market faced yet another disaster, this time from deliberate arson, leaving traders feeling frustrated, vulnerable, and financially drained. Before the most recent fire in 2025, reports say the market's infrastructure was already in bad shape, with leaky roofs, drenching clothes, and pathways turning into ponds every time it rained. To prevent even bigger issues later, the market really needs a stronger, safer foundation.
For the fire, our major concern was to help them improve the market situation. The whole aim was to create good access lanes to help use cuts instead of doing headporting. We had spoken to the market leaders about the height of the market in terms of ventilation. After the fire, the rebuild, we've seen that they've actually increased the height of the market. And we believe that that is a positive sign from the initial conversations we had before the fire. So we've had discussions with the Ghana Fire Service, with ECG. The ECG wants to support with a bit more comprehensive wiring, which should then resolve the issue of haphazard wiring. Then the fire service have indicated that we should introduce fire lanes, which is very necessary. Then also we are looking at having some form of storage of water to back up Ghana water so that in the event of another fire, it could be dealt with immediately. My hope is that we'll be able to execute an outfit to make sure we bring a good face to Kantamanto, to improve the way Kantamanto is for the retailers and for the customers. Because sometimes walking through the market is very difficult because the lanes are very tight. It's our belief that if we can bring some change and then be able to help in eliminating head potting, which is dangerous to those who do head carrying. That's our major goal.
According to the Anchor Research Institute, in developing countries like Ghana, poorly regulated markets leave workers and vendors vulnerable to disasters. Without strong protections, they're often left to fend for themselves, with no safety nets like insurance or social support. Earning below a living wage makes it even harder to recover from setbacks, leaving livelihoods at the mercy of unpredictable events. In today's fast-moving world, grabbing a quick, easy meal is the norm. Grocery shelves are packed with processed and packaged foods that promise a long shelf life, the perfect texture, and a satisfying bite. But have you ever stopped to think what's actually in that creamy dressing, velvety ice cream, or thickened soup? Chances are it is loaded with food additives like gums, thickeners, emulsifiers, and stabilizers, ingredients that might be doing more harm than good.
Food manufacturers use additives like xanthan gum, guar gum, carrageenan, lecithin, polysorbates, and mono and diglycerides to improve texture, prevent separation, and extend shelf life. These compounds help water and fat mix, give foods a thicker consistency, and keep ingredients from separating. While they may keep food looking fresh and appealing for months or even years, this can make processed foods seem more like a science experiment than a nourishing meal.
Look at this bread. You see it? Looks good. Looks white. Looks fine. Now, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but listen. Okay, it is not soft anymore. It almost feels like toast is what it feels like. I made a video this summer and I was telling you guys something is not right because our bread that should be healthy for us, that should be like real, is not. And something is not correct. Y'all, this bread is beautiful. It looks just like I bought it from the grocery store. Now, let me show you the expiration date on there. I'm not sure if you can see this or not. March the 5th, 2023. Are you serious? This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong with our food market right now. It's not just your fast food companies, okay? It's everything.
Food preservatives basically mess with the chemistry of food to keep it from spoiling. But that also means they can mess with our bodies, too. Take nitrates in cured meats. They help with freshness, but can turn into sketchy compounds when digested. Then there are preservatives like BHA and BHT, which stop fats from going bad, but might also mess with our hormones. And while some kill off harmful bacteria, they can also wipe out the good gut bacteria we need for digestion and immunity. Over time, certain preservatives have been linked to allergies, inflammation, and even bigger health concerns, such as heart issues.
Let's talk about some reasons why processed food is destroying your heart. So what happens, obviously, processed food, anything that comes in a box would be the stereotypical thing, Cheerios, Frosted Flakes, even organic related products can be problematic. So when you process a food, you change the structural integrity of the food. Oftentimes, vitamins and minerals are lost in that process. And then the manufacturer will add some synthetic form back to the food. And then also, as you're trying to digest and assimilate the food, we're using up a lot of vitamins and minerals in that process. The easy answer, which is just common sense, eat real whole food.
Keep in mind, the marketing and branding of these products can be a bit misleading. For example, plant-based milks like almond, soy, or oat milk are often packed with preservatives that help them last longer on the shelf. While they're marketed as healthy alternatives, these preservatives, like carrageenan, potassium sorbate, and sodium citrate, can cause issues in some people. Plus, many plant-based milks also have added sugars and artificial flavors, which can make them less healthy than you might think.
I actually have nothing against plant-based milks. What I have a problem with is big companies like Oatly adding unnecessary ingredients to them. I don't recommend these plant-based milks, but I'll show you guys a good option. Malk is doing it the right way. Check out these ingredients. Just filtered water, organic almonds, and salt. 3 simple ingredients. This is all it takes to make plant milks. You don't need seed oils, preservatives, toxic chemicals, and processed sugars to make plant milks.
Eating fewer food preservatives and additives really starts with reading those labels. Get in the habit of checking the ingredients list. Emulsifiers often pop up as mono and diglycerides, lecithin, or ingredients ending in ate or ose. Another great step is cooking at home. When you make your own meals, you're in full control, so you can easily skip the additives. Cutting back on processed snacks is key too. Try swapping out packaged options for healthier choices, like nuts or seeds. Plus, you can DIY your condiments like salad dressings, sauces, and mayonnaise using recipes that avoid artificial emulsifiers. Focusing on whole foods like fresh fruits, veggies, lean proteins, and whole grains is also a big win, as they're naturally free of all those added chemicals.
It's easy to forget these unnecessary food additives are in a lot of what we eat, but these ingredients can affect us in ways we don't always notice. The more you know about what's in your food, the better choices you can make for your health.
Durian, often referred to as the king of fruits, is a beloved delicacy in Malaysia. Known for its distinct aroma and spiky exterior, it offers a delightful taste and creamy texture. UNN Field Messenger Louise tells us more about this unique fruit.
Hi, this is Luis reporting from Kuala Lumpur for United Network News. Natural abundance is present all year round, but at the start of the durian season in Malaysia, Mother Nature gives us the durian fruit, a spiky superfood much loved in this part of the world. Known affectionately as the king of fruits, durian is one of the most delicious and most interesting superfoods available in Malaysia. Known for having high amounts of antioxidants, collagen, vitamins, and minerals, durian is also considered an excellent source of dietary fiber and potassium. Durians can be as large as a medium-sized watermelon and are usually covered in spiky husks that can make one bleed if the fruit is not handled with care. Inside the tough, thorny husk are areas covered with creamy pulp, ranging in color from white to yellow and red. Today we are visiting fruit stalls in a suburb of Kuala Lumpur, where Malaysians and tourists are excited about the start of durian season. Some would say durian tastes like a rich custard highly flavored with almonds and a touch of cherry wine. It is a creamy combination of sweet and bitter flavors with slightly alcoholic hints. The atmosphere in the fruit stalls is filled with a sense of joy and anticipation, as the scent of durian fills the air. The crowd here today is enthusiastic and relishing the chance to try different varieties of durian, including the most popular one, the tourist favorite, Musang King, for which Malaysia is world famous. Due to its high cost, durian can be a birthday gift, or a wedding gift, or a way to show off your wealth. Next time you visit Malaysia, make sure you give durian a try. You may just love it. Reporting for UNN, this is Luis. Until next time.
Hemp is a super healthy, protein-packed ingredient that's perfect for creating tasty, plant-based recipes. UNN Field Messenger Rick shows us how he makes an easy and delicious hemp chickpea salad.
Hi there, this is Rick with United Network News, and today I'm going to show you how to cook with hemp and to cook raw with hemp. Super, super healthy. Hemp is one of the most beneficial proteins for our human body. The edestin protein in the hemp heart seed is super, super healthy. So I hope you enjoy. So today I'm going to make some hemp chickpea salad. I'm going to start off with 2 cans of organic chickpeas that I'm going to throw in the food processor. And then I'm going to give it a quick little pulse. That's about right. Now what I'm going to do is add some hemp mayonnaise. And I made this in advance. It's a real simple recipe using cashews and some lemon and water and a bunch of other seasonings. And it tastes really good. First time I made it, I was very surprised on how good it tastes. Then I want to add the hemp seeds. And here I have some Dijon mustard, some salt and pepper, some garlic, and some Asian seasoning that will give it the flavor of tuna. So you could actually call this a chickpea tuna salad. I have a cup of chopped onions and a cup of chopped celery. And then lastly, a half a cup of sweet pickle relish. And that tastes really good. You can see the recipe is very simple. I'm just going to give this a quick couple of pulses here. Actually, it's not getting the consistency I want, so I want to stir it up a little bit. And let's take a look at this. Oh, almost perfect, but I want to mix it up just a little bit more. You can see these chickpeas are just a little bit too big, and you can kind of take a look in there and see that you want to get them broken down a little bit more than you see here. But I'm going to move some of this from the bottom up because I don't want it too fine. That looks like about perfect. Oh yeah, that looks really good. So then I'll pull this out. Add it to my serving bowl. I'll eventually make some really nice chickpea tuna melts with some hemp cheese. So this is 100% raw. Extremely, extremely healthy for you. Here's the final product. Our hemp chickpea salad sandwich, finished off with some tomato and avocado and mixed greens and a nice sweet apple. And showing you how easy it is to cook with hemp. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, this is Leanne.
And I'm Jerry.
Coming to you from Tamworth, New South Wales.
Hi there, this is Rick from Arizona.
My name is Uchechukwu Ogbenegba from Igbo tribe, Nigeria.
Hi, this is Scott from Utah.
I'm Annette from Agassiz, British Columbia.
Hi, I'm Marcus Surzet from Manipur State, India.
Real people reporting real stories from all around the world. That's what United Network News is all about.
Can you clap?
We had a huge flood, which some call the flood of the century.
No fake news here. Our field messengers share personal experiences of what's really happening in their community.
We got some nice fish right here.
At UNN, you are the news.
My family and I had a very good time.
Take the next step. Become a UNN field messenger and share the real news with the world.
in the northwest province of South Africa. I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News.
I am United Network News, and if it's going to be, it's up to me.
It's going to be, it's up to me. If it is going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to me.
If it's going to be, it's up to us. Field Messages, United Network News. See you next time.
Step into a world of possibilities with New Earth, a groundbreaking series that shines light on holistic ways to live, work, and thrive. Join us weekly to discover new innovative ideas and explore the world around us as we, together, create our future, our New Earth.
Ketamine, originally developed as an anesthetic, has gained attention for its recreational use and potential therapeutic benefits. However, in recent years, there's been a troubling increase in ketamine abuse, especially among young people, sparking concerns about its impact on health and well-being. This raises important questions about how society can balance its therapeutic benefits with the risks of misuse.
Ketamine, also known as Special K or vitamin K, is a prescription drug that's become popular in the club and rave scene. The National Drug Intelligence Center defines ketamine as a dissociative anesthetic due to its sedating effects. The drug can distort sight and sound and create a disconnected feeling. While the hallucinogenic effects last 45 to 90 minutes, it can impair judgment, coordination, and memory for up to 24 hours. Recreational use might seem like harmless fun, but it can lead to serious health issues like addiction, bladder damage, and liver failure, and even severe breathing problems. Ketamine is illegal without a prescription and is often sold on the street as clear liquid white powder or in capsules. It's typically snorted, mixed into drinks, or smoked, and has even been used as a date rape drug due to its odorless, colorless nature. Despite its dangers, its popularity continues to grow, leaving many to wonder how it became such a go-to drug in the first place.
Ketamine was thought of as a horse tranquilizer.
Veterinarian clinics were largely using ketamine as their main anesthetics.
And then we were also hearing, wait a second, this thing is also being used recreationally. There's evidence of ketamine misuse throughout the 70s.
In the 1980s, people were breaking into veterinary clinics or medical clinics and taking vials.
I think it was by mid-late 1980s where it really came onto the club scene. So it became its own party drug in the 90s. And people started sniffing it just like they would sniff cocaine.
It's a cheap high. It doesn't cost much, lasts a few minutes, and it's easy to get into places you go.
People at nightclubs just started, handing out powder saying this is ketamine. It could enhance the lights and the music. Tons of people were using it. In 1999, the DEA scheduled ketamine.
Ketamine went on Schedule 3, meaning that it now has restrictions on how it can be prescribed, how it can be used. And any use outside of those restrictions is criminal.
When they made ketamine a Schedule 3 substance, I think it actually, in a counterintuitive way, gave it more legitimacy because it takes away its sole sort of perception as a recreational drug.
Ketamine is becoming more popular among teens in the U.S. and UK. In 2023, a survey showed nearly 1% of high school seniors in the U.S. had tried ketamine in the past year. In the UK, a survey conducted by NHS England involving 13,000 students showed 11% of 15-year-olds in the UK had been offered ketamine, with its use among school kids doubling during the last decade. Even though ketamine was upgraded to a Class B drug 11 years ago, its growing popularity with young people has the government thinking about reclassifying it as Class A, which could mean life sentences for suppliers.
we've seen such a massive surge in the usage of this drug. And, you know, I mean, it's a drug that is as a licensed use within a medical setting, but we're seeing it now, particularly with young people. I mean, the statistics speak for themselves, 85% increase in that usage. It's huge, and it's certainly what we're seeing in treatment centres.
Do you know why? Is there reasons it's suddenly become fashionable? What is it that's suddenly
post-pandemic
driving the ketamine use?
So I think post-pandemic definitely is something that we consider as being a causative kind of factor for all addiction, really. But what we've seen, particularly with ketamine, is the fact that it is widely available. It is a relatively cheap price point, even comparatively to things that are socially acceptable, such as alcohol. You know, for £10 now, you can purchase a gram of ketamine, and you know, it is available on things such as social media and delivered to your door.
Ketamine is unpredictable, making it hard for users to know how much is too much. And even small doses can cause an overdose, especially when mixed with alcohol or other drugs. Serious risks also include respiratory failure, increased heart rate, high blood pressure, depression, and long-term cognitive issues. Even small doses can cause physical side effects like muscle weakness, stumbling, and loss of coordination. Signs of ketamine abuse include using more of the drug over time, constantly craving it, spending too much money on it, neglecting responsibilities, ignoring loved ones, and needing higher doses to feel the same effects.
5 signs that somebody's high on ketamine. These are 5 signs. Ketamine is a dissociative drug that gives you a euphoric feeling. Now, when it comes to ketamine, a lot of people actually use it and snort it. It comes in a powder substance, kind of looks like cocaine, but very different effects when it comes to that euphoria that it makes you feel and almost disassociate. The 5 signs that somebody's high on this is 1, usually anxiety and panic attacks actually are a big sign that somebody's using it. The K-hole, which is a dissociative state that people get freaked out that they're going to be trapped in. Hallucinations is another big one, along with paranoia, and then also the drowsiness. These are 5 signs that somebody's actually using this substance that's high on it. They're very common to actually see a couple of those in anybody that's using it. And you think that it's cocaine, but it doesn't give you that actual stimulant effect. I got sober 7/25/17, and I just like sharing signs of what I've experienced and what I've learned through getting sober to help those out there that are struggling. For the ones that are trying to get sober, you got this.
Ketamine addiction can be challenging to overcome without professional support. The drug affects brain chemistry, making it difficult for individuals to quit on their own. Seeking help from a trusted doctor or addiction therapist is key, as they can provide guidance toward appropriate resources and treatment options.
Making your own toothpaste can be a great way to avoid the chemical in-store bought options. UNN Field Messenger Emma shares her simple recipe using natural ingredients like eggshell powder, which can help strengthen teeth and fight cavities.
Hi, this is Field Messenger Emma, reporting from Fuerteventura, Spain, in Europe. Today's report is going to be about homemade toothpaste and the benefits of making your own toothpaste to avoid the potential dangers of store-bought toothpaste.
Before you make the toothpaste, you have to prepare the eggshells. And the way I do it is I collect white eggshells and I boil them in a pot of water just to make sure they're all sterilized or clean.
So now I'm preparing the eggshells in the oven. They've been in for 20 minutes. And I'm just checking if everything is dry. And yes, it looks good. So they're ready for cooling off and then in the coffee grinder.
And grind them into a very fine powder. So that's the remineralization of your teeth. They can actually get into cracks and the cavities, and yeah, it's very good for your teeth.
A research from 2015 published in the Journal of Clinical and Diagnostic Research found that brushing your teeth with eggshell powder can help to reduce the number of cavities and white spots on the teeth. For example, the researchers found that the high pH content of eggshell powder helped to lower acidic content in your mouth, and also the high level of calcium helps to restore essential minerals to the teeth. It's not just the calcium, all the minerals in the eggshell, which is perfect for helping your teeth. Here's how to make your homemade toothpaste. My ingredients that I chose: I melt 4 tablespoons of coconut oil. I use powdered eggs to remineralize and to maybe fill in cracks or things like that. Eggshells, white eggshells, have loads of minerals that is healthy for your teeth. I use baking soda, sodium bicarbonate with baking soda, and I use drops of peppermint oil. So according to Dr. Berg, you can also add hydrogen peroxide, food grade, which is 3%. And you can use drops of cinnamon or clove oil, which is very antibacterial. So you mix all these ingredients together, cool down the toothpaste, and put it in a glass container. And then when you want to use it, you just put your dry toothbrush into it and add as much as you want, and act as if it was a natural toothpaste, like you always did. You take your dry toothbrush, and you scoop up a little bit from the inside, like this. Smells really good. And then brush your teeth. Homemade, easy peasy, good, healthy. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Now it's your turn. Join our weekly meetings and become a field messenger. More information is available at our website, unitednetwork.earth. We're UNN, and we're taking back the news.